Guys, welcome back to Box Notes. This is my third week. This video is going to go out on Saturday, but right now it's Thursday. But it's better for me to record now because I edit only on weekdays. I can't really edit on weekends. But yeah, let's just jump right into it. Basically, in this past week, I've had a pretty good time. I've been able to start talking with some of the different professors and some different advisors about my project and where I'd like to see it go, what I'm doing with it already, how I want to change what I'm doing with it already. And I had a really good conversation with a professor of mine who was really interested in my project. Her research basically focuses on grassroots organizations, on grassroots movements. And so in the past, she's gotten involved in different online rogue kind of things, similar to Anonymous, but more ones that were focused on offline events and offline action. So she was talking to me about my research, and I showed her my YouTube channel. I showed her the programs I was using to editing, and I told her about my plans to basically, once I get my YouTube channel set, which is basically set, I should really just do this now. I'm going to post on a couple forums about YouTubers and about people who are new to YouTube, and I'll try to get kind of a dialogue set up. And she was really interested in it. She really liked my idea. She liked the unique position I was taking, and she liked my perspective of looking at YouTubers as basically an online community of self-created identities. It's difficult with the different universities that do digital anthropology because each of them has a slightly different take on what a self-identity is as the projects of the university go by. For example, my university looks at basically social media because there's a big social media project going on at my university. Other universities look at the virtual worlds of gaming and of this not The Sims. What is the one I'm thinking of? Second Life. Second Life. I'm not sure where to classify that. But it seems like there's a couple games like World of Warcraft and Second Life that are always the focus of anthropologists. I prefer to go out to something new. I like newer things that I haven't seen before. So basically what I'm looking at is I am looking at the creation of the self on a YouTuber. And to do this, as you know, I've made my own YouTube channel, and I was explaining this to the professor, and she was really interested in it. She thought it was a great idea, but her one concern was that I become too engrossed in my own channel and have my research end up being a basically memoir of things that I've done and ignoring everybody else, which I don't want to do. I really don't want to do that. It's important to me to see the outside, to see other people, because I was a scientist. I was a science major in undergrad, and so I am all about the evidence, all about the proof. I have a really hard time coming to a conclusion about something that I've done just by myself. But that's a big danger with anthropology, because anthropology is literally perceiving things, and it's literally being able to say, from the time I spent with these people, this is what their priorities, this is what I know about their priorities, this is what I know about their traditions, and the meaning that these traditions have to them. But with that being said, I am making a YouTube channel, and right now I haven't yet talked to a community, so it'll be really important that I do that. I've had some really good times. I've had a lot of fun with my playing games, putting videos up, learning how to do the editing, and a lot of what I'm doing I think is pretty universal stuff. But I don't have access to any good YouTubers, any good sources yet, and that's what I really got to do. Yeah. So that'll be my next step in the offline, well, off YouTube aspect of my off recording aspect of my project. Yeah. The second part of that actually is in the past few months actually, I've been emailing back and forth with one of the major gaming YouTube channels, who I'm going to keep my entire project anonymous. By the way, I'm not going to name any names unless I do a collaboration with somebody and they specifically want their name out there. Which, I mean, if you do, that's great. Anyway, I sought it, but I did seek out at the beginning of my project professional YouTubers, gaming YouTubers, because I thought they would be great to see. If I could have a chance to spend some time in their office, I would be able to see basically it's 16 people almost who daily come in, and I assume they come in daily. I assume they record daily. I assume they are involved in their editing. I assume they have their own things that they've set up, their own traditions, their own things like maybe even like a snack before they go in and record. But I don't know. And that's what I wanted to find out. So I emailed them and I got a response, not from the YouTubers themselves, but from their manager, which was already a sign of distance that they were putting in. And after a couple months of like emailing back and forth and me explaining my project and being like, oh hey, even just a short tour around your facility would be great because I'd be able to see like how you have your computer set up, little things. I mean, they seem to be insignificant to a lot of people. Like, oh, so okay, like me, every time I start recording, I go into my computer, I make sure my mic's working correctly, I make sure I have a glass of water next to me, and then I record. And that, compared to how I normally game, even when I'm Skyping with somebody, I don't double check the mic, I don't always have a snack with me, sometimes I even have food with me. Right now, I'm being very sure about not having food around me and being able to, like, talk. And I'm being very aware of my talking. So it's kind of a whole different self than when I'm just playing online, just playing with my friends, which I should start recording. I'm going to start recording that. I played a little bit with Hale, and that was pretty good, because it got to be more natural. But this is definitely a less natural way of recording. Yeah, but anyway, the end product of my emails back and forth with these guys is about last week. They emailed me and said, oh, because of the way things have been changing, we're no longer inviting you to come and look at our facility. And I have to say, I was a little bit offended. I mean, I understood. I completely understand, but it's hard to get my emotions separate from the anthropological research portion of it. Because their saying no was actually really useful to me. It was not useful. It wasn't. It's not a good thing. It was good. Getting a reaction either way is the good part. What I think it means about them is I think it means that the reasons they cited are because of the way things are changing and also because of privacy. They're very concerned with their privacy and with keeping their online and their offline world separate. I know that, well, I assume, this is like back to what I said about my being a scientist. I assume that when I go and I contact smaller YouTubers who are maybe just one person or a couple people who put up a less formal thing of videos, that I'm going to receive a much, much more enthusiastic response, because I have to say, these professional YouTubers did not want to talk to me at all. And I even volunteered, I even said that, hey, if you guys come over, I'll take you out for lunch, I'll go buy you drinks. And I did end up, a year ago, I interviewed a group of them, and I bought them lunch for their interview, which it was a great interview, and they're unbelievably charismatic people. But they're definitely not the main YouTube community that I am concerned about. They're more of the almost. It's interesting because They started out as a very small group of friends who were just doing this for fun. And then as they became more popular, they become more and more almost commercial. And so now they're almost an industry where they're rolling out videos and they have an obligation where it's almost shifted from fun to work. And I'm more concerned with the ones who record their time as fun. I feel like what they do now is much more scripted. These professional YouTubers. I feel what these professional YouTubers do now is much more scripted. Yeah. So it could be a good thing that they said that they would rather not have me visit their facility. Yeah. But instead of that, basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to contact these YouTube amateurs. It's something that I wouldn't have been able to do if I was going to spend a whole summer with these professionals, working with them, or working alongside them, and keeping notes on what they do. I'm going to contact these YouTube amateurs, basically people who do it for fun, people who get maybe 100 or fewer views on each of their videos, and I expect that I'm going to get a pretty good response from them. I really hope so. I really do hope so, but we'll see. But I gotta also be careful of my predictions. I gotta be really careful of these predictions because, like I said, I'm a scientist. I have a scientific mind, and I have a hypothesis, and I have to do something to prove it'll happen or not. That was exactly what I did in contacting these professional YouTubers. I had a hypothesis that, oh hey, these guys want to keep their private life separate from their public life. So I tested it. I emailed them, and I said, hey, I want to spend a lot of time with you in public, and not in public, but I spend a lot of time with you in your office, and I want to see how you guys live your life. I want to see who you are. And right away, when they delegated me to their manager, I was like, okay, never mind. Not never mind. Okay, let's just see what happens here. So at that point, I ended up starting to make already alternative plans. But anyway, yeah. So this has actually been a really productive period of research already, and we're only 3 weeks in. Even though in one way it may seem like a failure, I can see many ways in which it was actually really, really good for me. What else do I have to talk about? Videos that have gone up this week are the beginning of my Sims and the end of my Hearthstone Assassin first round. I learned some editing with this Sims stuff, and the Sims series is actually just starting out. It's getting pretty good, and I've played a whole nother session that I've uploaded as well, but yet to list as well, and I've had a ton of fun with it because once you start getting playing, and while you're talking to yourself as you play, you can really make up a story. You can really create like a self. You can not a self, but you can really create a living situation, a living universe within these Sims. Usually when I play The Sims, I'm like, oh hey, this guy's gonna be my money slave. I'm gonna have him go get a job and do nothing but work. And then the other one, I'm like, oh well, this one I'm going to have do this side job, which doesn't make any money but has some really cool things that happen with it. And I mean, that's one way to play the game. It's a pretty good way to play the game. You can definitely do that. I kind of prefer it the way that I'm doing it now is kind of, oh, well, would this guy be the kind of guy to do that, or would he not be the kind of guy to do that? So it's been a pretty good kind of session for me. Pretty good learning experience. And then Hearthstone. Hearthstone's a game I'm terrible at. I love it though. I'm going to continue with that. I'm continuing with my quest to be the worst assassin in the world. And I'm still doing just about the same as I did. And I haven't leveled up to level 20 yet. Once I get to level 20, or whatever level it is, I'm able to join in and start playing with ranked people, and hopefully I'll get to either people who are about my skill level, or I will just be totally demolished every single game. Either one I am fine with, and if I'm demolished every single game, that would be a really, I think I could turn that into a really funny thing. I've also learned some stuff with my animation. I've learned how to blur the background of the video right before I start it, how to duck the sound of the music more. That's Hill's music I have going on. And I've learned how to animate a bit of a splash to go over the top beforehand. I think I'm good with the rest of it, though. I'm going to continue editing my post-screen and pre-game screen. We'll see what happens there. And yeah, I think that's and my video editing, the practical part of it. I think that's about it. I think that's all that really matters. But all right, next week I'm gonna keep playing The Sims. I'm gonna keep playing Hearthstone, but I do most of my recording over the weekend. On Saturday or Sunday, I want to find a new game to play. Not a new game, but I want to find a game to play that'll play for about 45 minutes. And I will see from that gameplay whether I should make a longer video that I have more heavily edited, or whether I should make a short video of middle, like, 5-minute stuff. A little 5-minute video with, like, a montage of things that I liked and things that I did. Yeah. And so I think that'll happen. I think that'll be my foray into creative editing. Then I'm going to post, like I said, on that on the novice YouTubers forum, and I'll give you the name of it if I end up making contact with them. Hopefully I'll become, because I'm pretty committed to it. I'm going to spend the whole summer on it. Hopefully I'm going to be able to join some sort of administration after a certain amount of time, because it's really, I really do want to get involved, and I really want to be able to organize things as well, get people to play together, because I'm sure that's going to be really difficult organizing things. But I just want to talk to them. I would love, because like gaming with somebody is one of the most bonding experiences you can do, at least I think, online, of course. But it's really, you can learn a lot about somebody by how they play a game. I've always had this theory. Because, I mean, I play League of Legends. I play a lot of League of Legends. Probably in the next few weeks I'm going to have a box notes where it's League of Legends as the video underneath. In League of Legends, you can tell by the people's positions, because there's 5 different positions. There's top, there's middle, there's bot, ADC, and bot support. And then there's also jungle. Each of those positions kind of has a different personality. The person who plays the top lane is the one who just kind of wants to stay out of all of it, and it likes to be the kind of hardy, kind of fighter dude. Person who plays mid is the one who loves to feel like they're in control. They want to be the boss, and they want to be the one who can get totally overpowered and destroy everybody. They want to be the ones who gets all the attention. Top never gets any attention. Mid gets all the attention. And then bot lane. Bot lane's a good teamwork lane. It's a really good teamwork lane. It's basically, you got to know what the other person's thinking. In random choice, that's kind of a difficult thing, because ADC is a ranged person, and is the one who attack damage carry is what ADC means. He is the one who makes the executions, when the support, who's basically there to keep the ADC alive and hassle the enemy team. Yeah, and so basically it's the support is there to help everybody out. That personality is the helper. It's my personality. It's personally my favorite of the positions. And then ADC is basically somebody who likes to do teamwork. And the ADC is more of a filler position. Jungle is somebody who likes to be up in everybody's business, likes to go, be able to stay out of things when he wants, be able to jump in out of nowhere and destroy the whole enemy team. Yeah. Be able to shift the tides. Yeah. But that's not the only game. League of Legends isn't the only game where the personalities of the gamer come out in the game. There's also other games like World of Warcraft have similar things, but those are whole different sets of personalities. Like, do you want to be an elf or do you want to be a dwarf? I don't know if that decides your personality as much as the, like, oh, do you want to be a priest, or do you want to be a warlock, or do you want to be a death knight, or whatever they're called. And I think those do, but I'll have to talk to other people. Again, it's back to the whole idea of, I don't want my impression to be my research conclusion. I want my impression to be compounded by multiple interviews, talking to people about what they feel, which is it's easy as just getting in contact with people. I haven't done it yet, which shows it's not really that easy because procrastination. Yeah, but and those are my plans for the next week. All right. Thanks for listening, guys. And if you're me, then thanks for listening again. And make sure to listen through to the entire video because I'm keeping these as my research notes. All right. I've also started doing my recordings with a notepad in front of me. So I'm going to start taking notes on things I want to say, things I think, things are important. And do some and now that I can do some more creative editing, I'll be able to cut and paste things where I need them to be so it doesn't sound quite as awkward. Alright guys, well thanks for watching, and I will see you next week.